Hi, hello, welcome to Devon Monk's Works and Worlds. We are on Monday Monk 63, I think. I'm pretty sure it's 63, real close to that. That's 63 weeks in a row that you have joined me here, or I have at least shown up and hope you have joined me here to spend a little time to catch up on what's going on in Monk World. And I want to tell you how much I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for coming by. I really, really appreciate it. And I've got something special planned today, so hang with me a minute here. Every Monday, I try to check in about what's going on with writing, how writing's going, how knitting's going, and how Monkland in general is going. Today's not going to be all that different, although I'm going to do a reading today. I'm going to read for you the first, I think I can get through the full first chapter, we'll see, of my newest book that's out called Oak and Ink. I'm going to put the cover up here. I'm going to probably leave that cover up most of this so that you know that this is the Oak and Ink video. I'm going to read the first chapter, and if you like me reading some of this book, let me know, because I could maybe read a little more of it next Monday. But if you think, nah, I don't want to hear you read, that's fine. I'm not going to take offense to it. Then I just won't read more. But let me know if you like this idea to add into the channel, and we can see if it fits in. Why am I reading Oak and Ink today of all days, Monday, today the 17th? Because, big announcement. I wish I had my party hat. I don't have my party hat, so I'm just going to put a random, this is my newest knit. I'm just going to put this, oh, there we go. This, there we go. Party television on my head here. Why am I going to read out of Oak and Ink? It's not going to stay. Because it comes out the 20th, which is Thursday, this Thursday. I have a link to it down below. Oak and Ink comes out Thursday. It was previously released in Dirty Deeds 2. That was a anthology where there were 5 authors who wrote novels that we collected together in one giant chunky collection. But this is just mine on its own, Oak and Ink. If you didn't get a chance to read it in Dirty Deeds 2, Dirty Deeds 2 doesn't exist anymore. It was only a 6-month project. It was only available in ebook and print for 6 months. So if you didn't get a chance to read Oak and Ink, this is it. It's coming out on Thursday and you can read it. What is Oak and Ink? It is a tie-in to my Souls of the Road novels. So my Souls of the Road novels are a urban fantasy, kind of a little dark folk tale, romance, got romance in there, mystery, fighting the gods, hunting down a spell book, that kind of thing, set on Route 66. And it goes through each of the states that Route 66 goes through. And our lead characters are Brogan and Lula Gage, a married couple, and their dog Lord, who are mixed up with gods and trying to get unmixed up with gods. And one of the side characters they run into in, I think, the second book, Wayward Moon, is Ricky Vargas, and she is a crossroads. That's her job. She is one of the crossroads near the route who deals with the magic that washes up in that one spot, because it's kind of a magical spot. So I'm going to read you a little bit out of that. I'll do that read, and then I'll update you on knitting and update you on Monkland in general at the end. So here we go. Are you ready? I'm going to read you what's on the back of the book first. So this is kind of the description of the book, gives you an idea of what you might be in for if you are interested in getting it. So here's what's on the back. Ricky Vargas stands 6'2" with magic tattooed across every inch of her skin and a broken heart she doesn't want to talk about. She's a crossroads who provides sanctuary for supernaturals on the run, helps negotiate peace between monsters, and takes exactly no shit. Cardamom Oak is a half-dryad wizard on the run from an angry goddess. Stealing from the gods is a terrible idea, but his sister's life is on the line, and he'll do anything for her. None of this is Ricky's problem, except Cardamom once saved her life by giving her that first magic tattoo. He also broke her heart. When he shows up on her doorstep asking for help, Ricky is prepared to send him packing. Unfortunately, her annoying heart has other ideas, even if that means dealing with a swamp siren, her jerk of a father, and an enemy strong enough to tear her world apart. Okay, so that's basically what's in the book. If you want to see what I'm reading from, I actually just printed off some of my pages. I'm like, I don't have the book ordered in my hand yet, and I don't have the ebook in. I could have probably put that on my reader, but I didn't. I went old school, and I just actually printed it out. So going to see me turning pages here. Are you ready? Oak and ink. Here we go. Now, well, here we go, and then I paused to talk. Here we go, but I think I did read a portion of this back last year when this came out. So you might, if you've been a part of my channel, you may have heard this, but I'm not sure. So if you're new to the channel, or if you just want to sit back and have somebody read to you a quickie little story, then you've come to the right place. Now, I'm going to tell you one other thing. I have to do a quick repair above me. I have this background thing that I use to make the light better in this room because it's a very dark room, and I think it's about to fall on my head. So give me a minute. Hold, please. Duct tape is my friend. I think I got it fixed. We'll see if it falls on my head. Okay, back to the book. Oak and ink. Here we go. Fate was coming. The roar of her motorcycle rumbled at the edge of my hearing and rattled through the magic in the ground beneath me, shaking that damn pecan tree I was scowling at. I set my hammer and bucket of nails on the sawhorse and wiped my arm over my forehead, mopping sweat even though it was barely dawn. You hear that? I asked the ghost. Valentine was lounging on a pile of wood I wanted to turn into a shop, even though the damn tree was in the way of the roofline. Did I hear some woman cussing about not having any help and for reasons unknown to me angry at a pecan tree? No, Ricky, I haven't heard a thing you said. Val had been a werewolf in life and was a smartass in death. Built lean and rangy with a bit of hungry wolf to him, he was too skinny to be my type. But with his scruff and wicked dark eyes, he pulled off the good-looking bad boy vibe. Me? I was a mountain. Over 6 feet tall, with broad shoulders, wide hips, and thick everywhere else. I knew my size could intimidate. Counted on it, really. Val claimed he had a tattoo on his body somewhere, which I wasn't about to ask him to show me. I, however, couldn't hide my ink and was absolutely painted, from collarbone to fingertips, back, butt, legs, and feet. Every one of my tattoos carried magic that allowed me to access and look after the magic in the crossroads. The engines, I said. Can you hear them? He tipped his head. The ghost wolf, who was always with him, lifted its head too, ears pricked up. No, he said. Well, I can. It's fate. The god? How concerned should I be? Depends. Did you do something to piss off the gods? Not lately, he grinned. Have you, Ricky? Probably. Seems like everyone has something to complain about. The engine was a little louder, but still a long ways out. I tugged my gloves off and stared at the space beneath the tree where I'd been trying to build a shop for weeks. You know what I want, Val? I asked without looking at the ghost. I want a shop. I want it to somehow fit under this pecan tree without me having to saw off half the branches, and I want whatever god-awful mess is about to show up on my doorstep to be something I can ignore. Didn't know a crossroads could ignore god-awful messes. We are exceptional at ignoring and saying no to chaos. I turned and started toward the big house. It began life as warehouse, but was now a gathering place for all manner of magical odds and ends that washed up the drive. Magical people, magical things, magical troubles all ended up here somewhere or another, looking for help, guidance, sanctuary. Sure, Val said. I've seen you totally ignore chaos, like when you helped Lula and Brogan find the rabbit that was not a rabbit by battling an ancient evil a couple weeks ago. He floated along next to me, his wolf keeping pace. All that no you said to all that god-awful mess really worked out for you. We won, didn't we? The hush almost killed us. Yeah, well, I said, giving him a look. Some of us were already dead. You could have said no to the whole thing. I don't leave my friends to fight monsters on their own. You could have. I'm not made that way, but that doesn't mean I'm going to welcome every troublemaker who shows up on my doorstep. What about gods? He asked. You'd turn gods away because you don't want to deal with whatever trouble they're bringing with them? I guess we'll see, won't we? I crossed the grass, wishing I was barefoot so I could better tap into the magic of the place. The crossroads wasn't exactly a sentient building, but all the magic stored in it had somehow merged together to create a joined spirit. The old house was my friend, and I was its guardian and the keeper of its magic, even if that magic was dangerous, especially when it was dangerous. In return, the crossroads did its best to help me. Lately, I'd been having the same dream on repeat, which I knew the crossroads had something to do with. I was floating in tropical water, the taste of sugar on my lips. A handsome man, a familiar man, with green eyes, placed a flower in my hair, his fingers drawing down the curve of my cheek. I've missed you, Rix. That's where the dream always ended, because that's always when I'd recognize the man. Cardamom Oak, that dryad wizard Fink. I'd dismissed the dream every day for a week, but the crossroads just kept putting it in my brain. I knew it was an omen. Trouble was coming, and that trouble was somehow connected to my jerk ex-lover. Like you'd ever have the guts to show your face here, I grumbled as I stomped up the stairs, then paused to take off my boots and socks. As soon as my bare feet touched the old wood of the porch, warmth and ease flowed through me, settling me like nothing else could. The ground was a neutral zone where supernaturals could claim sanctuary. That's what the crossroads had been built for back in the ancient days. That's what they still stood for today. This is good, I said, rolling my shoulders. I got this. I stretched to get the kinks out of my back, then pushed through the door and stepped inside. The narrow halls were covered in faded flowered wallpaper, and the clutter of furniture and magical things made the big house feel cozy. A few of the rooms were getting a little too full of magical items. The crossroads usually shuffled and sorted through everything that showed up here and moved stuff from one room to another as it pleased. The ever-shifting piles of books, scrolls, crystals, clockwork, lamps, cauldrons, paintings, stuffed beasts, and a million other little things didn't bother me. I'd grown up here, and I liked being in a place where lots of oddness somehow fit together. Plus, my bedroom was tidy, as was the big living room, bigger kitchen, and of course the bathrooms. Other than those main rooms, I indulged the house's need to decorate as it chose. It's fine how it is. No need to change, I said. You talk to yourself a lot, do you know that? Val said. I keep thinking you're starting a conversation, but you're just in a bad mood. Who said I'm in a bad mood? Everything's great. Can't you see all this? Great. I waved my hands above my head. You're doing an awful lot of scowling for the happy words coming out of your mouth. Really didn't ask for any feedback, I said. Go do something useful. Like what? Put out the good china? Brew tea for the god? How about go see Danu? Try to patch it up with your werewolf pack. I stepped into my bedroom and pulled off my sweaty work shirt, tossing it into the hamper. Val stayed on the other side of the closed door. No, not today, he said. I want to see how this approaching God thing works out. You do know there's someone hanging out at the edge of the property too, right? I pawed through my dresser and went for my wide-legged overalls and a tank top. What kind of someone? I asked as I dressed. I think it's a man, but he doesn't smell like a man. You can still smell? I buckled the overall straps, then opened the door. Val leaned against the other wall, one foot propped behind him. I can't smell like... He pulled his fingers through his hair, lifting it and letting it fall, the beads on his leather bracelets winking in the light. Not like when I was alive, but something similar to smelling, yes. Because you're a werewolf. Yes, because I'm a werewolf. Aren't you curious what he smells like? Not really. If he were a threat, the words would trigger. He's probably just a tourist trying to figure out how he ended up in Nowhereville, Hornet, Missouri. You do have a giant motel sign out front that says vacant. That's for laughs, I said. One look at the place and anyone with a brain would know it's not really a motel. You could be overestimating people. I grinned and headed into the kitchen. You really don't care what he smells like? Val whined. I flipped on the light and walked to the sink to start the coffee. I really do not. But, go ahead. Tell me, since you got your fur in a knot about it, what does the lost tourist smell like? I angled the pot under the spigot and turned on the cold water. Oak trees. Suddenly I was back in my dream, floating in tropical water. I've missed you, Rix. Nope, I said to the dream man, the only man I knew who smelled like oak trees, who was also the one man I was doing my level best to never cross paths with. Val's wolf growled. I know what oak trees smell like, Val grumbled. Wood and ketchup. That man or tourist or whatever smells oaky. I opened my mouth, but I couldn't seem to get the words out. Water spilled out of the pot, pouring cold across my fingers. Ricky, did you hear me? Are you okay? He paced the floor. Is it magic? Do I need to kick that oak guy's ass? Because I am down for that. What do you want me to do to him? I turned off the spigot and carefully placed the pot in the sink. Okay, I said, more to myself than to Val. It's going to be okay. I'm going to make breakfast and drink a cup of coffee and eat some toast because I refuse to deal with him before my first cup of coffee. You know him? Are you sure you don't want me to kick his ass? I want you to watch him, please. If he tries to approach the house, tell me. If he does anything hinky, tell me. Hinky. What is this, the 1930s? Oh, people use the word. Sure, in the 1930s, he stopped pacing, then drifted closer to me and folded his arms over his chest. What about the wards? They'll trigger if it gets too close to the house, right? No, cards. He's different. The wards might let him pass. I met Val's gaze and waited. I'm not sure what he saw in my expression, but he nodded. Card, huh? Okay, I'll watch him and tell you if he gets hinky. His eyes flashed red, and then he and his wolf winked out of existence. I pressed both hands, one warm and dry, one wet and cold, against my face and took a deep breath. You're bringing trouble to my doorstep, aren't you, Card? I mumbled into my palms. Of course you are. You always bring trouble. Almost always. The tattoos on my arms and across my chest and belly warmed and stretched, like soft wings spreading toward the summer sun. The magic of the crossroads poured across through those tattoos, and I calmed, knowing my magic had my back. I won't let you drag me into your problems, I said. I won't let you screw up my life. I owe you, but I don't owe you that. I pulled my hands away and bounced on my feet like a boxer to shake off the last of the shock. Then I added extra grounds to the coffee, filled the tank with water, and hit the go button. I turned on the old radio, and rock from the 1950s poured out. Elvis was in love and shook up about it. I bopped my head along with the beat and dragged my fingers over each wall in the kitchen. Glyphs, carved, painted, and burned into the layers of wood, stain, paper, and plaster came alive under my touch, moving with me, almost like a dance, flowing with the power in the house. Trouble is headed our way, I told the walls as I pulled out a pan. What can you tell me about fate? The crossroads was already searching through stacks of books and scrolls, sorting pages and parchments. Spells rustled, tokens clattered, and other supernatural scribblings muttered and grumbled in distant rooms and closets. The soft scent of clover and grass and summer washed through the house as I pulled out eggs and butter. An image of Card from years ago flickered in my mind. The house was asking if I needed any information about cardamom oak. No, I'm hoping he'll go away and I won't have to deal with him. The scent of summer dissipated. The house stretched and rustled, returning info on dryad wizards with stupid names back under old carpets, storing it near leaky windows, and probably stuffing it down the sewer pipes. I chuckled and sent soothing emotions through the house. Don't destroy the info. It might be useful to throw in his face someday. The house seemed content, and its attention shifted to looking up things about fate. Just because you're here, I said, doesn't mean I have to pay attention to you, Card. I popped bread in the toaster. As a matter of fact, I think that's the best plan. I'm ignoring you as if you don't exist, as if you never have. I was debating cheese or jam to go with my eggs and toast when there was a knock on the door. Val, I called out, but the ghost didn't appear. Someone knocked again. Normally, people never got to my porch without me knowing they were coming. Normally, I'd be on that porch, leaning on the pillar that acted as a lightning rod for all the power the crossroads contained before they even got to the bottom steps. Normally, I'd have the upper hand. But as I walked down the hall and gripped the door latch, I knew who was on my porch. My stomach clenched. There was only one person who could slip my words, because he was a part of them. I yanked on the door and glared at the dryad wizard. Go away, Card. You left me. For once in your life, stick to your own damn decision. There you go, chapter 1 of Oak and Ink. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly had a good time writing it. That is out on the 20th. Link to it is down below. This is run long, but I will do a very quick update on all things. Knitting is going well, thank you. I'm working on the toy for the next newsletter giveaway in April. It is coming along, but slowly because I'm using tiny needles. This toy has not been claimed yet from March's newsletter giveaway, so do sign up for the newsletter link below, and you will be in the running for the redraw on the Little Knit TV from March's newsletter. And then how are things going with Monk World? Going good. We went out and we have extra new soil for our garden. We got some starts and some seeds to begin seeding up our garden. I got a a lavender plant because my last one didn't make it last year, and I would like lavender in amongst my roses, so I'm going to try replanting some lavender. And we went to a movie. We went to Dungeons and Dragons Heroes, whatever that one's called, the Dungeons and Dragons movie that came out. It's the first time I've gone to a movie since 2019 or something. So it was really fun to go back into the movie theater. It's at one of our local movie theaters called Northern Lights. If you're in the Salem area, you should give them a try. They do dinner and a movie. They have great popcorn. They do desserts and stuff too. And they are cheaper than the other movie theaters in town. They're locally owned. So we try to always support our locally owned businesses. And so we love going to Northern Lights. Did I like the Dungeons and Dragons movie? Yes, I did. I had fun. I wasn't expecting it to be high art, but I thought for getting across the feeling of doing an actual Dungeons and Dragon game, they did a great job. And there are a couple little cameos in there that made me, an 80s girl, very, very happy to see. I won't talk about that, but yeah, if you have a chance and you just want to go see a fun movie, I think it's not too scary for smaller kids, like, you know, I wouldn't do wee little babes or anything at it, but, you know, I think, yeah, 10-year-old would have fun at the Dungeons and Dragon movie. And I certainly had fun at the Dungeons and Dragon movie. And I'm hoping to go next to Renfield. That looks crazy. I want to see Nicolas Cage be Dracula. So... And I want to see that. I don't know the guy's name. I can't think of it right now who plays Renfield, but he's a fabulous actor. So I'd like to watch him in the movie too. So anyway, yes, things are going well in Monkland. We will probably be planting the garden this weekend if all goes well. We will see, fingers crossed, because we had one day of sunshine so far and then it's been raining again. So we might be planting the garden in our hip waders, as one does. So thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for listening in to the first chapter of Oak and Ink. Link is down below. Sign up for the newsletter for the knit toy giveaway and also for more excerpts from Oak and Ink. And that will be, the Oak and Ink itself will be available on the 20th. And that's enough of that. Thank you for stopping by. I hope to see you again soon. If you found me on a Monday, very late on a Monday, I got this one out very late. I hope your Monday was great. And I hope your coming week is wonderful. I'll see you again soon. Bye.